Good afternoon and welcome inside another edition of That's What I Think with Brandon Swanson. I'm your fearless host, Brandon Swanson, and today, talking about another terrible incident at a university, and it is staying in the Big Ten. It's Maryland, and just a travesty. An absolute travesty at Maryland. 19-year-old Jordan McNair, offensive lineman at Maryland, collapsed and died back on May 29th. He was running wind sprints and showed signs of extreme exhaustion and difficulty standing upright. And I'll certainly get into that more along the lines here. But the president of Maryland, Wallace Lowe, said he met with McNair's parents and, quote, to express on behalf of the university our apology for the loss of their son. That's not acceptable, Mr. Lowe. That's absolutely not acceptable. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry your son died under our watch. Absolutely unacceptable, because it never should have happened. It absolutely never should have happened. Again, May 29th was the day that Jordan McNair collapsed. He had gone to the hospital. Of course, as I will get to, nothing was done correctly by the Maryland training staff. And these are supposed to be some of the best trainers and staffers that they have who know how to deal with situations like this. But yet all of them seem to not have a clue what to do when the time came to it. When someone truly was in need and needed their help, they all went blank. Or maybe they just didn't care. Then on June 13th was the day that Jordan McNair passed away. Lowe condemns and condemned reports made by former players and staffers and some current players and staffers that said that there was verbal and mental abuse happening inside the Maryland football program and that it contributed to a toxic culture. The president just condemns them. No, that's not true. No. Okay. Okay. Can you say that for a fact? Just say that all these people got together and said, guys, let's make this up. It's going to be one big, fat, juicy lie. Is that right, Mr. Lowe? Is that right? I don't buy it. The emergency response plan was not appropriately followed in the case of Jordan McNair. Why? Why not? You probably get maybe one emergency a year, and you can't be ready for it? You're not ready for it? Are you kidding me? Why do you have a job then, you worthless sack of crap? What are you doing? Unbelievable. Second, the care that was provided was not consistent with best practice. Okay, yet again, what are you doing? What are you doing? Makes no sense. It's unbelievable. And third, heat illness was not properly identified or treated. No temperature was taken and did not apply a cold water immersion treatment. Jordan McNair was at 106 degrees. That's what his body temperature was at, 106. This is ridiculous. You don't check him? You just let him be? We'll get him to the hospital. He'll be okay. He's convulsing. He's having seizures. But yet, let's not take the right precautions. Sure. You know, he's not manly enough. He's not worth our time. Maybe that's it, Maryland. Maybe that's it. Seems to be the case in many instances. Many. And I can't imagine that they're all false and all lies. The head strength and conditioning coach, Richt Court, has been dismissed. Thank God for that. He was one of DJ Durkin's, the head coach at Maryland since 2015. That was one of DJ Durkin's first hires. So now this is a great point that Golick and Wingo brought up the other day on ESPN radio when I was listening to them. When you're hiring your training staff, any of your staff, you're hiring them because their values and ideals fall right in line with yours. That would be completely correct. Completely correct. And that would most likely be the case as well with your training staff and anyone who is going to be around your players, working with them on their health, on their bodies. You would believe that DJ Durkin believes and encourages anything that happens and anything that those trainers and those staffers do. That would be, I think, a proper assumption and assessment. And if that's the truth, then DJ Durkin is one heck of a jerk and a terrible person. These reports that the president of the University of Maryland has condemned coaching environment based on fear and intimidation. That's what a couple of the reports say. Small weights were thrown at players if they weren't doing what people believed they need to be doing. Meals slapped out of their hands in front of everybody to embarrass them. Belittling and humiliation. Sounds like that was the name of the game for Maryland football. And inside the walls, things that people didn't always see going on. Extreme verbal abuse of players. A player was belittled verbally after passing out during a drill. That is one of the reports. That's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. It's unacceptable. And why was it allowed to happen? Why was it allowed to happen? This is gross. This is disgusting. Yes, in sports, I can understand if a coach is pushing a player to be better, and knowing the limit that they can push. That's a good coach, knowing the limit. But a bad coach, a bad person, and someone who just doesn't care is going to be someone who goes as far as they can, does the worst possible things, even allows a player to die. A former staffer said, and I quote, "I would never, ever, ever allow my child to be coached there," end quote. Well, that's lovely. That's nice. Rod Walters, a former longtime collegiate athletic trainer, has been hired by the university and is investigating the incident himself. And his report is supposed to be released September 15th. September 15th. That will be very interesting to see what comes out in his report. A man who hopefully knows what he's doing. Hopefully he's a trainer that actually understands what the hell to do and what is supposed to take place. That would be nice. That would certainly be nice. All of this is absolutely grotesque. It's terrible. It's worse than terrible. A young man has died. And DJ Durkin has been the head football coach since 2015, and you can only imagine what else has gone on inside this football program to these young men. You are supposed to, as the football coach, not just be the football coach, but to a ton of these young men, you are like a father figure. You're someone they look up to. You're supposed to be someone that they want to be like. You're supposed to make them want to be better, not be scared of who they are. This is terrible. And DJ Durkin, allowing this to happen, he should not be the head coach of the Maryland Terrapins. He should not be the football coach at any program. And I hope that's exactly what the investigation finds. Because, again, you have to know, if you're the head coach, what's going on inside your program. Rick Pitino needed to know what was going on inside his program. Sure, go ahead and play it off as, and then throw it off onto somebody else and play it off as, well, I didn't know that was happening. Well, guess what? That's a problem. You should know what's happening. If DJ Durkin said, I didn't know the trainers were doing that. I didn't know my medical athletic staff was allowing that to happen? You hired them. You hired them. You're supposed to be checking in with them. Again, me working at one point with an NCAA program, the head coach is in on all that stuff. He knows what's going on. They know exactly what's happening, what should be happening and what should not be happening. They know. And this goes up to the top. The athletic director should know. The head coach, they're right there. That's their program. They're running it for good, for bad. That's theirs. And DJ Durkin, you're going down with the ship, buddy. And you should be. This is terrible. I mean, it's just terrible. This is a horrible thing that has happened. And what's worse is the quote that I have here from Martin McNair, the father of Jordan McNair. And this is what he had to say. And I quote, "As much as I miss my son, what I really miss, I miss being a father. I miss that fatherly advice of, how's your week going? Ending a call with, I love you. That's what I miss most. That's the empty void for me right now." End quote. Jordan McNair, a 19-year-old, going to play football, going to do what he loves. It's been taken from him, and his life has been taken from him. Not going to be able to graduate college, not going to be able to tell his parents about his first job, not going to be able to have a family, not have kids, and not see them off to college, to maybe do what he was doing, playing football, doing what they love. And now his father, his son's been taken from him. He'll never be able to go to a game, never again. Let that sink in. For anyone who's ready to comment down below and say, how dare you say this about DJ Durkin? Don't bother. I don't want to hear it and I don't want to see it. So don't do it. Because this is what's been taken. A life. And a family broken. DJ Durkin, it's on you. I blame you. You're supposed to be at the top and know what's going on. And you didn't. So you say. You didn't do what needed to be done. These are kids, not animals. Remember that. It's a travesty, and I hope that everything comes to an end soon. They find out what really happened, and the investigation is wrapped up, and they find out that DJ Durkin is not fit to be the head coach at Maryland. And that's what I think this week, everybody. Some heavy stuff, I know, but it's really it's a grueling, terrible situation. Prayers. Again, it's one of those prayers don't bring people back type of situations, but prayers out to the family of the McNairs, and I hope that they feel like they will get justice in this situation for their 19-year-old son, who this should have never happened to. A terrible situation, but one, like I said, I hope it wraps up quickly and they find out exactly what they need to, and that, again, the McNair family can feel like they get justice. But that's going to do it for us this week. We'll be back next week, same time, same place, 2 Central, 3 Eastern, and 12 Pacific. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend. So long.